evening. My name is Thomas Beam, and I am here today to inform you all of a revolutionary take in modern marketing. Throughout history, and as is currently seen, monetary systems and their applications have served to hold up the economy of financial markets throughout the world. Since its beginnings in 1913, the Federal Reserve has been the main entity of monetary regulation in the United States. Up until 1944, the value of the US dollar was linked directly with gold. President Nixon withdrew the United States from Bretton Woods, and thereafter the dollar was valued by the sale of oil. Inflation and debt has served to further devalue the dollar, but its decrease has served to bring about the creation of cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies have emerged and are being used widespread across the globe. And even though cryptocurrencies are currently used in many applications, they have yet to be formally recognized and regulated by banking systems worldwide. More and more states are recognizing this new form of exchange, but it will not be fully utilized until it can be further understood and monitored for the use of the whole of society. For a world that is continually uploading commodities to the cloud for such reasons as security and portability, modern programming has succeeded in creating a digital mathematical equation whose value is dependent on the consensus and the use of the public. Today, what we see is a defining truth between digital currencies, such as Bitcoin, from physical treasury notes, is an unsurpassable quantity. This eliminates such factors as inflation, unproportional growth values, and even taxation on transactions. Furthermore, the United States dollar is used on a global scale in reference to monetary value, a system that has worked ever since its creation, even in the case of the euro. However, when the United States withdrew from Bretton Woods in 1944, the fiat currencies were no longer worth one bit of the gold they were believed to be. However, virtual currencies are on the rise. In this recent era of technology, a diverse form of digital payment is yearned for by many seeking a global, decentralized, electronic form of payment. Some countries and states recognize this as a normal form of payment, while others only see it as a bartering tool. While banks want regulation through physical distribution centers so that they can profit and control its exchange. Because of its ethereal properties, many people and industries fail to grasp its being and workings compared to the system we presently know. Crypto, or alt, or more simply, digital currencies are just an electronic iteration of financial systems Unlike current financial systems, the goal of blockchain technology is to create an automated, decentralized, worldwide, peer-to-peer transaction network. As of now, the United States dollar is still considered an acceptable legal tender used around the world and regulated by the central banking system. According to Richard Mills from aheadoftheherd.com, the value of fiat currency has plummeted 95% since 1913, when the Federal Reserve was created and begun to regulate money. At its inception, the dollar was based on gold. In 1944, President Nixon withdrew the United States economy from Bretton Woods system of backing fiat currencies with gold. This severed link enabled the Federal Reserve to create as much money as they wanted to because it was just paper. This is denoted by the text on the top of every dollar bill. A Federal Reserve note. Nixon negotiated a deal with OPEC in 1947 that generated capital for the United States with each barrel of oil sold. This meant that theoretically the United States dollar would continue to have value until oil ran out. Oil will run out. Many people are unaware of alternative energy sources, and even fewer are aware of alternative payment sources, such as digital currencies, and their application in the real world. Most everyone is familiar with online forms of payment. An extreme variety of services and information, which is no different than the globally emerging concept of cryptocurrencies, except it's decentralized, worldwide, communally regulated properties are available along with tangible and limited value. In addition, many places around the world a collection of 2.2 billion individuals do not have access to the traditional USD monetary system recognized in most countries. However, thanks to programs like Kenya's M-Pesa, or Mobile Transfer Money Service, now roughly 1 in 3 Kenyans own a Bitcoin wallet. But how and in what way are digital currencies available to us? Well, there are 2 ways you can acquire cryptocurrencies. Currently, you can buy from the company, other trading agencies, and individuals. The second way is to mine the currency by running a series of increasingly complex algorithms on a computer. The typical buyer of Bitcoin only buys mere fractions of a single coin. And this is done through investment brokers, company stock, or pseudo-anonymous transactions between other individuals. Another way to acquire Bitcoin is to mine them by processing an extensive mathematic calculation of complex transaction algorithms on almost any internet-connected computer with the required software installed. This communal task is vital to the success of many cryptocurrencies in that those entirely unique series of sequences represent and verify who sends what to who and when. And this eliminates discrepancies in payment. These miners compete in a shuffle of these codes to receive a payment from the system itself of a given percentage of all the remaining Bitcoins in existence, which the percentage of which divides by half by year, until its fixed cash of 21 million digital, conceptually valued coins are exhausted. This characteristic of communal participation is what allows us to completely disregard transaction fees, and also means the end of a $250 billion tax income deficit, and tax income deficit, and decontinuation of an additional $10 billion being added into global circulation every year. Yet still, the global recognition of digital tender is not as nearly imaginary as it may seem. American and European citizens are increasingly familiar and are continually being exposed to new and innovative technologies and advantages for the consumer when buying online. This is very similar to cryptocurrencies, but with the exception that the average consumer today cannot buy common household products from the local market or most major companies for Bitcoin. And yet, as it stands, Bitcoin has surpassed 3 times the value of real-life gold. Nevertheless, digital currencies placed outside of the mainstream crutches the currency's investors to rely on recognized and regulated tenders. Over a year after the most widely of the supported cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin was unleashed in 2009 by Satoshi Nakamoto. A single Bitcoin, as of May 22nd, 2010, was worth 1/25,000th of a single dollar. Today, a single coin is equivalent to $4,345. In pursuit of this, new imitations of Bitcoin emerge. However, none surpass it in its integrity and its value. New regulations are also emerging in order to define and attempt to control the exchange and use of cryptocurrencies in order to improve both safety and producer and consumer safety in the mainstream. The value of the US dollar is slowly being realized by the public, and this has created the need for something to replace it. I hope that I have been able to accurately inform you of how cryptocurrency will continue to try and replace and replicate the functions of the dissolving US dollar. Once regulations are put in place and more knowledge of its workings are acquired by society, more and more people worldwide will begin using this form of exchange. Once used by a certain percentage of the population, the market will be forced to evolve in order to sustain business capital and economic stability. Further education to sustain business further education on the way cryptocurrencies can be used and restrained must be implemented in order for the general populace to take advantage and fully grasp the many digital qualities of cryptocurrencies.